Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Steph, and today we're going to be setting up my sister's February pages for her bullet journal. Again, this is an Artist Loft premium journal I picked up at Michael's on sale, but I really like the shimmery gray faux leather cover, and I think it has 192 pages. I recorded this video, again, probably in July or August last year in 2021. Since this journal was a surprise Christmas/birthday gift for my sister, whose birthday is the day after Christmas. So now that she has the journal, I can go ahead and edit and post these setup videos for her since she's seen the pages. Today we're using the entire pastel palette from Tombow, as well as a Staedtler Tri Plus fine liner and my Prismacolor 005 for the finer line work. Again, the pencil that I use is this Currytoga diamond lead pencil. It does great holding up underneath other colors and things like that. So anyway, for the gradient rainbow hearts, I really just kind of wanted to do, originally my thought was going to be like a rainbow puzzle piece. My sister has at least one child who has autism, and so I was trying to celebrate that for her. However, the idea of a full puzzle piece theme was a little intimidating, so I decided to go with rainbow hearts instead. Again, this paper is 120 GSM, so I did have to be very careful not to go over anything more than like once, maybe twice if possible. So a lot of it is going to look a little, what's the word I'm looking for? A little rough because I had to be extra careful not to cause any kind of bleeding. This paper does not hold up as well as my Archer and Olive paper does when it comes to the Tombows. I haven't tried any other markers in that bullet journal. I did buy some super tips, some Crayola super tips that might work out better, but for this setup I was still using the Tombows. So as you can see, I started with the lightest pink in the top left corner, and I just kind of went in a gradient from that to the brighter pink, to the orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, indigo, and then purple, violet color. And there was some bleeding, particularly, if I remember correctly, the green and the dark blue likes to bleed quite a bit, but those were the only two colors I think that gave me any trouble through the setup. I just did a really simple print font for her. I wanted the focus to be on the colors and the hearts and not on the lettering. For the quote, I went with a Bible quote for her that represents, it represents, you know, love and it's inspirational. You know, I went with inspirational Bible quotes. Normally for myself, I consider a lot of different quotes that really tie in with my word of the year, but since this is my sister and this was a surprise, I don't know if she has a word of the year or if she would want one, that kind of thing. So I just kind of kept picking inspirational quotes throughout her bullet journal. For the calendar, I went with my standard 6 boxes tall by 5 boxes wide, outlined in black, and then continued the hearts pattern throughout the page. She also has a space to write down events for the month and any key tasks she needs to complete. She can also, if she wants to, switch that into, instead of tasks, she can write down goals. But again, not knowing how she was intending to use the bullet journal or if she even would use it, I just kind of kept things pretty simple. So for the day of the week headers, I just went with a letter that represents the day. One thing that really did kind of mess with my mind a little bit when setting up her bullet journal is that I always start my week on Mondays and end them on Sundays, but I believe she would like to follow a traditional calendar, so for her I have them all starting on Sundays rather than on Mondays, which threw off the way my brain works around the calendar a little bit, but thankfully at least this month I didn't have any issues adapting to that. There were quite a few times when sketching in her pages that I realized that I had started everything on Monday instead of Sunday for her. And here you can see I'm trying to not go over things twice, but also fill them in perfectly, so the tiniest little dots if I missed a spot. Another fun thing that could be done is I could have outlined these hearts in one of the black pens. I decided not to do that because I didn't want it to be such a pop. I wanted the colors themselves to be the focus and not the bright black outline. And then that's after I erased all the little pencils inside the hearts. I just write in the headers for events and for tasks. And that is basically it, I believe. I also went in and did little dots of color for writing in like the days of the month, 1 through 28. And for this, I believe I skipped yellow because it's kind of difficult to see against. Oh, no, I did use yellow. So I left out the darker blue and the indigo color out of the gradient colors for this particular part of it for the calendar. Again, I typically track 6 habits each month, and I know what those habits are. They're pretty set. For her, I didn't know if she would want to track habits or how many, so I did give her space to track 5 of them. And I just filled in the heart patterns around the edge. And for the mood tracker, I just kind of doodled in 28 hearts, and she can color them in based on her mood and define how she wants to track that as well. I know earlier I said that she could set how she would define her moods, but since she's never used a bullet journal before, I actually did go in and give her kind of some ideas there for how she can track them, but she can, in this case, set the color that she wants to use for each mood as well. And knowing her, I picked the moods that I thought would be most appropriate for her to track. And then again for the brain dump, I just kind of created a border, put the header at the top, and then added some heart doodles around the outer corners. And that's pretty much it. It's a very simple brain dump page. And this is where she can write down, you know, if she has an appointment or if she needs to grab something at the grocery store, but it's not something she wants to put in her daily tracker in case she loses it. She can use this space to write in whatever she needs to remember. So for this corner, I went with green, blue, and I believe purple, the cooler end of the rainbow. And then for the lower corner, I believe I did, yeah, orange and pink for the warmer tones. And then the other page here is a one line a day page, so she can just write down something interesting that happened that day, or kind of just a quick little, today was a great day, however she wants to use it, just for her to remember kind of the important things that happened. And just to tie the one line a day page into the theme, I went ahead and did a gradient rainbow of large hearts across the bottom, just to make it tie into all the other pages with the theme there. For her February weeklies, I decided to do a vertical layout where she basically has a space to write down appointments and responsibilities at the bottom, and then a task list of personal whatever things she wants to accomplish that day at the top. This gives her a space to identify key priorities for each day, as well as be able to kind of jot down reminders for things that aren't, critical. She also has quite a large note space on the lower right hand side, as well as a space to write key tasks for the week if there's anything big that she needs to do. Key tasks could be something like pick up Valentine's for her kids', classes, or make sure to, if not February, like file taxes, things like that. Not something that has to be done on a particular day, but definitely needs to be done that week, would go into the key tasks list. And then what I do for her bullet journal is I alternate between 3 different weekly layouts. So January had the 4 boxes per page, February has this vertical layout, and then there's a horizontal style layout that I'll do in another month. And then I add the doodles to each week that are tying it into the theme, and those doodles just kind of change week by week. So for February, the little hearts in the top right hand corner are just different colors each week. The other way that I tie the theme into the pages is that I do a little highlight mark across the top of each day of the week in the same colors that I used in the calendar spread, just adding in that extra indigo color in order to write the days of the week at the top, or the number of that day of the month rather, at the top. And here's the final flip through with the gradient heart doodles. It's a super simple setup. I think the whole thing took me like an hour to do, so I didn't even have to speed it up very much for this video, but I think it's bright and colorful and it's fun to look at, and I hope that she will use it. Again, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a week, and I appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel to see more of my content. You can also enable notifications so that you know when new videos get posted. I appreciate you guys being here, and I will see you guys next time.